all the way, live in the garden. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna get funky. Can't mess up. Got the king of cannabis here, making me all nervous. You know, the crew's up in here. Subcool. We're saying smoke signals, we're smoking Joe, Louis Crew. Alright, right here we going? Alright, let's do this. It all starts with germinating the seed. Some water and a wrapper root is all that you need. Once it sprouts, put it under some light. Throw it into a little bit of soil to give it life. You can't slack once the roots hit the bottom of the pot. Transplant before they get shot. Some do an early top, some let them stretch. Transition into the sunlight was next. Keep them in the shade so they don't get burned. Transplant to the next size, listen and learn. Micro rise and teeth, sprinkle it under the roots. Give them water now, watching them boost. And meanwhile, get your soil amended. Rototill mixed with worm castings blended. Gotta be ready to plant before June when the hours are right and you're under the full moon. And that's how you start growing a real plant right there. You gotta put your seed into the soil, let it root, and then put it in.
What's up, everybody?
Where it's gonna grow big. That's how you grow.
Weed nerd.
Now you ready to go
Changing up a little bit.
To the sun. That's how you grow a plant. Mando dough. That's how you grow a plant. Yo. This next step is to get it in the ground. Whole time growing, it's never been root bound. Hit it with some nitrogen, ready to feast. Start training, mainlining, growing the beast. Put the first cage on, get to pulling the branches out. Pinch any spot at the top that's standing out. Getting bigger, now you ready for the next cage. Thick stock cow magma's the next stage. Mid-July and the days getting harder, expanding, making roots search for the water. Keep a roll of green tape, tie 'em out off. Clean the bottoms up, get your canopy rocking. Put a trellis on the top and get ready for rain. Couple weeks to flower, about to stretch and change. I'ma train you how to grow with the sun. Outdoor, high-grade ganja 101. Outdoor, high-grade ganja 101. Outdoor, high-grade ganja 101.
Awesome with the shift there. How are you guys doing tonight? Did I pull that off with the headphones? Can y'all hear me?
Very good. Very good.
Definitely.
Fucking awesome. How about now? We good? We good?
We're good.
Man, I got some.
Oh, touch of reverb.
There we go. I got
Oh, we're pimping.
Cool. I got one little teeny laptop and fucking 6 different devices, so we're good to go. How's everybody doing tonight? Thank you. Welcome to the panel. Welcome to the Weed Nerd live show. How's everybody doing tonight?
Right.
Very well.
Cool. We got a good signal tonight. We have supposed to have 300 kbs down, so hopefully we won't have any problems tonight on the show. We have John with Quest Dehumidification. Consider not draining my fucking pool to build a grow room. I think we're probably going to be talking about dehumidification tonight. Also tonight, Ben with Phylos Bioscience. Phylos Bioscience is a company that's really bringing something new into the industry, and that is genetic mapping. And I will tell you, Ben, if you can hear me, they don't have a fucking clue about this in Arizona. Phylos, what? Genetic mapping, There's a lot of business down here for you, brother, and we fixing to really make it happen with new genetics. Always on the show, we have Malik Spider coming in tonight, executive producer. How are you doing tonight, Malik?
I'm doing very good, Sub. Excited for today's. I got a couple of stumper questions if we need extra to talk about, so I'm ready.
Hell yeah, I like that. Of course, also tonight in the channel, we have Sid Avery. How are you doing tonight, big guy?
I'm doing great. I'm just finally getting over to the harvest season and ready to go on to the next.
Are you done?
No, almost, which is fine. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
That's awesome. What is, if you don't mind me asking, what's the outdoor down to now up there?
About like 14.
14? That's still not too bad, to be honest with you. So,
That's not too bad.
Yeah. Also joining the channel tonight is Jason with Fino Seed Bank. How are you tonight, Jason?
Doing great. Smoking on some Costa. Can't be upset with that. So
That's what I'm talking about. Pretty excited. We're going to talk about it a lot more off the air, but Jason wants to do some breeding for me. I have a couple of strains that I'd like to take to F6 fucking thousand. So I'm kidding, but this is the guy that can do it. So we will be Subcool Seeds. We'll be working with Fino Seed Bank, if at all possible, to develop and stabilize some couple of things that I've worked with over my life. And last but not least, in the channel tonight, coming in live from the concert last night, online, Mr. Bond. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, everybody? How you doing, Sub?
Good, man. How you doing? You cold?
No, actually, it's probably like 60 outside right now, to tell you the truth. Oh,
shit. No, the heat wave.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
That's cool. So don't forget, everyone, don't forget to hit those thumbs up. It makes the show grow, so they tell me to say that. Welcome, everybody, for coming to the show. All kind of cool stuff to talk about tonight. But before we get started with the show, I have an amazing announcement to make. Today, we actually got contract here in Arizona for our unlimited license. I actually have a contract and a check. We put money down on a 3-acre per commercial property. Has a 3,000 square foot house on it that we can start germinating, growing. It's already approved, and that'll be where we put our license. They gave us $1.85 million or whatever to licensing the project, all the building, all the lights and everything. Tuesday, when we sign contract and take possession of the building, we can start making sauce that day. So Farmer John is on his way. Badger is on his way here with all the seeds and all the genetics now that we have approval to hold them in our hand. And yeah, we fucking did it. I have an unlimited fucking license to grow cannabis in goddamn Arizona, and we're going to grow a lot of goddamn weed, I can tell you that. So
fuck yeah.
It's hard to imagine. We talked about overgrowing,
yes.
You know, overgrowing the planet. This is on a level that you guys can't even fucking comprehend. We're going to crack 500 seeds right out of the gate in Fino hunt. So I have never been more excited in my entire life for a project. The people involved, Eli, Will with TGA, shout out to Will with TGA. He put this deal together for us. So you got to understand that my 3 partners are fucking gazillionaires, and they want to grow ganja, and they want to ring the bell. And the funniest thing about it is I said, well, what's my job? They said, we want you to run around yelling that fucking these guys grow Subcool cannabis and that you can buy Subcool cannabis in Arizona. So that's my job. I did my job. Come buy some fucking badass weed from my new operation. And yeah, it's beyond exhilarating, to believe it or not. Let's see what else. Bought a truck. Finally got my truck in today. It came in a 2018 Toyota Tacoma Pro. So I'm pretty fucking excited about that. So yeah, it's been an incredible week. I will have to say, with all that excitement for my friends to watch me, Alpha One is kicking my motherfucking ass. I can only take a couple of steps now, so I'm literally thinking about getting a fucking scooter. Stony Chicken's here with me. He's been fucking with me, but I was hanging out with Wheels today, our new friend Wheels, and we mounted a fucking phone mount and an LED light and everything. And I don't know. All I can tell you is it's embarrassing as fuck, but it is almost impossible for me to walk to the back of, say, a Home Depot now and back. I end up leaning over and gasping. And no shit, the other day when I was leaning and gasping on this fucking rail, this asshole goes flying by me on a scooter. I was like, fuck you, man. So it's embarrassing as shit, but I really can't walk very well. So I guess I'm going to get a 4-wheel scooter or some shit coming soon. So that's the negative and the positive. I feel like $1 million. I feel like I can do things, but Stoney was here the other day when I tried to grab a bag of roots because I was pissed off and carry it to the... I was going to show these fucking guys. You guys aren't doing it right. Give me the fucking bag of soil. I'm dragging it through the ground going... Aah! So that's just part of everything that's going on. All right, let's see. Tonight we are extremely happy to have Quest dehumidifiers in. Quest has taken the storm. I didn't even hear about them for a couple of years ago. And if you're in the business now, you are using a Quest dehumidifier. We're going to talk to John about his new products. As you know, we drained the pool this week, and we're going to fill the pool with 650-gallon pots and grow some trees under some lights. And we're going to have to put a dehumidifier in there because this is a sealed area room, and it's a whole new environment growing down in a pool. So we're going to bring in John's expertise. Quest has a solution for any indoor gardening application. Quest dehumidifiers are the most energy efficient on the market, using the least electricity, removing the most pints of water per kilowatt hour over the widest temperature range. Quest's innovative design adds minimal heat load to your HVAC. A Quest dehumidifier pays for itself in energy savings while naturally helping to prevent pests, moles, mildew, disease, allowing your user to eliminate pesticides. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us what's going on before we get into this formal shit. Tell us what's going on in your life, big guy. What's going on in your world right now?
In the world of Quest, it's all about the new units. We're coming out with 3 new dehumidifiers. One really small, one really big, and one completely different from the rest in how it works.
Gotcha. Well, I want to know, like, how do you basically size a dehumidifier? So I know how to size a heating air system. A heating air system, around 400 square foot per ton, and you can cool pretty much anything, department stores, fresh air like that. You get into 600 square foot per ton for residential. But when you get into dehumidification, is it a square foot or cubic foot, or how do you do the calculation for determining how much dehumidification you need in this space?
So typically, we like to go on the amount that you're watering per day. That is our main metric on how to size a dehumidifier. There are other factors to incorporate, but that seems to be the most accurate way to figure out your humidity load is essentially what you're feeding your plants, considering the transpiration rates of the plants themselves. That is what's going to end up in the air.
So we don't even do square footage. We figure out, hey, we use 50 fucking gallons of water in this building, and then we need to remove 50 gallons of water. Is that right?
Yeah, because there's so many variables that go into it. Different grow styles. If you have the same square footage area and you're growing in 2 different grow styles, obviously square footage isn't going to be an accurate way of sizing because you're going to have different water loads from room to room.
I gotcha. So one thing we've talked about on the show, you've been on the show before, and we've talked a little bit about dehumidification, and I want to kind of beat Lunchbox. I kind of want to beat something to death here, and that is, I've always thought when you design a dehumidifier for a room, you want the dehumidifier to run, so you prevent swings up and down and up and down. And I always thought, and I'm getting completely out there, I always thought that in the heat and air business, the way we control temperature swings is with variable speeds. Slow the unit down, but keep it running. So on a Quest, can you tell us, is it continuous run fan? And when we size, do we want this right-sized unit, or do we want a big motherfucker to suck a bunch of water out?
So that's a really good question. There's 2 different strategies. There's some people that just want it as low as possible at all times. So you would just set that bad boy to run continuously and to just pull as much moisture as possible at all times. But the vast majority of people want to regulate to a certain level of humidity, a certain level of relative humidity, RH. And then you would set the unit, either the onboard dial or with an external controller, to regulate itself on and off to achieve that level. It depends on what you want, essentially.
Well, and I'm going to beat that. And by the way, I asked that second question without even looking at that damn script. Damn, I'm good. But I really want, so when you look, so I've done a lot of heat and air work, and we've done a lot of clean rooms and stuff where we put recording dehumidifiers, recording thermostats. And so if you oversize something, what you get is low, up, low, up. Right. So sizing is important, is really what I'm trying to get at. Do you think?
Very important. I see quite often, honestly, people that put a giant unit in a small space because they want to get the best unit, right? But they didn't realize how oversized it was. And vice versa. There's a lot of people who are trying to get away with as little as possible, and you see those same spikes. Yes, just the back.
And I want to teach you something. I want to share something with you that you probably know. You're a pretty fucking smart guy, but if you use a dehumidifier that's too large, you dry your fucking plants out faster, and you have to water them more.
Because usually, when you have a dehu that's too big, it's in a small space. Mm-hmm. So the air, where the air is coming out of the dehu, doesn't have much room to disperse evenly. So it's usually going to pour this super warm, dry air right onto the leaves, and that is not good for your plants.
No.
You want it to disperse ambiently.
That makes sense. I'm going to ask you a couple questions that are not on this sheet. But I'm just curious. So, like, the compressor that's in the unit, I mean, is it a Copeland? Is it a Tuscumsky? This is shit I want to know. Is it scrolled? Do you know this shit?
That's a good question. I might have to get back to you on that. We're constantly looking at different vendors to get our best compressors possible. Mm-hmm. I don't think we've changed in a long time, but I'd have to get back to you on the exact brand of the compressor.
The reason I ask is because the units are incredibly quiet, and when you use a reciprocating compressor, they pretty much make a noise. And I was just curious if there was a fucking scroll, because scrolls are really quiet. That's all.
There's a lot to that, and I don't know if you've ever taken a Quest apart. They're actually lined with a lot of foam and insulation to limit that noise. That's part of it.
And I wanted to tell you, I want to cover some things. So a Quest dehumidifier is not inexpensive. It's a unit that's made to last long, and it's an expense for a grower. But I can tell you somebody that's been in a small type situation many years, and the crappy $300 or $350 dehumidifiers that you would buy, they're disposable. They're fucking one season disposable, and even more importantly, they can't be maintained, which is really the biggest problem. When I looked at a Quest, the thing I like the most about it is that a maintenance man could take the fucking thing apart. He can clean the coil, he can clean the condenser, and he can get the crap off of it. And I think that's durable in a unit that's going to be lasting, running all the time and up in there with the resin. And resin is a big fucking deal in the rooms. My split system, mini split, got so much resin on it that it couldn't blow air anymore. So being able to maintain it's a big deal. Absolutely. I want to talk a little bit about. We talked a good bit about it. We talked about insulation and other things. Can you point to maybe a single theory or mindset of the company that makes Quest so special? Why are they the gold standard?
I'm really glad you asked that. The thing that I started learning when I first started working for the company a few years ago was we never want to sell someone something that they don't need. And that was, and I had a sales background before I ever worked for this company. I've worked for multiple companies in the sales aspect, and it was always, there's so many companies that just sell as much as you can, as often as you can, right? That is not how this company operates, and it blew my mind. This company wants to provide the best solution for the market as possible. And it's honestly, as an end user of a lot of different products, and it was really refreshing when I came to work for this company in general. That I feel like that's what sets us apart. Is we're not just trying to sell something. We're trying to give a solution, and people will come to that solution when they realize that it's the right way to go. That's, I feel like, what sets us apart from everybody else.
Awesome. We'll get right back. I want to give a special shout out. He's been in here many times. He's quiet. He said a couple of things on the out channel, but it's kind of official now. So I want to take the time to welcome Eli with Arizona Bay Gardens. He is my head grower. He will be heading up the new project on the 3-acre property. Are you fucking excited, dude?
Man, I'm fucking stoked, bro. You already know.
Dude, it's hard to conceive back in the days when we used to sit on Overgrow and go, we're going to overgrow the world. We send some seeds to some fucking people and let them grow in a closet, and we're going to buy us a fucking 430-watt light. Oh, and then and then I'm sitting in a room today. I'm in Arizona. I'm hanging out with two guys. How many rooms you got? Oh, I got 12 rooms with fucking 40 lights. Oh, how many? Oh, I got 64 lights in 8 rooms. It's a whole fucking new world, Bubba. And me and Eli are fixing to grow some serious ganja. Farmer John's getting in a car on Monday. He's on the way. Badger's on the way right now with your Jesus OG Kush seed. So it's a fucking cannabis event.
Yeah, everyone's super stoked on it. It was a great day today. So yeah, it's gonna be badass, man. It's gonna be a lot of hard work ahead of us, but we're gonna kick ass.
Yeah, before you came on the show, just so you know that I do know that, I said, well, we got a contract. Now we got fucking 6 months of hard work, crying, and headache to make sure we get the proper flowers on the outside end, but we're going to pull it off, and thank you. I am so happy to work for you. I will work with you. I'm proud to work with you, and I cannot believe the journey we've taken in the last 3 or 4 months. So welcome to the team, big guy.
It's a fucking honor, bro. I really appreciate it, and, just love hanging out, and easy.
Cool. We'll see you at the pool house tomorrow. All right, back to Quest dehumidifiers, and thank you for that little break. It's the most exciting goddamn thing I've ever done in my whole life. So, let's talk about VPD. Now, I'm going to tell you that I'm in a heating air business. I understand enthalpy control. I know psychometric charts. VPD kicks my ass. I mean, I don't run VPD in my rooms because it is way too wet. But I wish you would talk about it just a little bit more. Maybe if I hear it 1,000 fucking more times, I'll understand it. And talk about the benefits of VPD for us, please.
So the benefits is really, for the healthiness of the plant. To try to get your plant to transpire at the level that it wants to. So VPD is basically the difference between the maximum amount of water that the air can hold at a particular temperature. And different plants have different VPDs. We don't want to tell you exactly what settings you should do for your particular grow, what you want to do. We can give a recommendation. You know, a VPD of like 0.8 kPa, which is kilopascals, on the low end, or 1.25 on the high end is a good range to keep it in. But we don't want to say definitively this is what you need. But what we do is help you along the way. If you're doing VPD and you want to run a certain level of humidity for a certain level of temperature, we can help you achieve that. Which is basically trying to increase your yields.
Gotcha. I wanted to. What the hell was I saying? Oh, 1 second. Look, there's 260 people watching. There's 95 thumbs up. It drives my moderators crazy. Take fucking 2 seconds and hit the goddamn thumbs up button real quick. I won't say it again. Got it? Okay. Thank you very much. All right. So the 105 model and the new models that were released. You mentioned them at the start of the show. Just kind of go into detail. If you would break apart the 3 different models and what the benefits are.
Okay, I'll do this as quickly and succinctly as possible. So we have our 5 series models, which include the 105, 155, 205, and 225. Those are the more efficient models. Then we have our 10 series models, which are smaller, lighter, less expensive, but still same quality, same warranty as Quest. Then we have our portable models, and then we have what's coming soon, our 6 series model, which you saw. We hung out last week at the MJ Biz. You saw the new unit, the big one, the 506 pint per day model. We're also coming out with a 70 pint per day model, a little tiny thing. It is maybe the size of my screen right now. It is one of the smallest 70 pint models in the world. We're also coming out with a desiccant dehumidifier, which dehumidifies on a totally different methodology. It doesn't work like a refrigerant dehumidifier.
When is the 70 going to be ready, the 70 pint?
2018, I would, if I were to guess, probably first or second quarter 2018.
Can I beta test it in my pool, Subcool pool, drain the fucking pool?
Let's talk further about that. Maybe we can work something out.
All right, so we've really talked a lot about this. We've talked about the math of dehumidification rooms, but now let's talk about a little bit different. So in these rooms that have 396 lights, and fucking these guys are pumping in, I don't know how much fucking. So is it the same way? Do you just have to find out how much water they're using and go from there?
Sorry to cut you off.
No. Let's go to that big fucking giant room with 400 lights. How do we go about it?
Yeah. So there's different strategies, and some people want it, the exact answer first time out. That's it. That's how much you need. Unfortunately, there is no magical formula to figure this out. There wasn't whenever we came into the industry 9-10 years ago, and it still isn't one now, but there is a good working theory, and that's our working theory, water in, water out. With that said, me personally, I like to break it down into smaller segments. Let's try to figure out if it is that large. If we can segment a smaller section of that large space and figure out how much dehumidification that smaller space needs, then we can work it by square footage. Then we know that, okay, how well sealed this space is, how many plants are in for this square footage, and then we just multiply it.
It almost seems like you should, in a big project, if I heard what you're saying, and I'm sure I did, we could, we say we need 8 big fucking units. Okay, let's hang 8. And then maybe stage for 2 more. Okay, what is the working humidity in the daytime? How is it working out? And then, hey, we need a fucking another unit over here on the west corner. Am I off base? That's how I would design it. That's
exactly how it should be. I wouldn't look to getting a certain amount the first time. You're gonna know that you're gonna need a certain amount to begin with. beyond that, there's going to be some variability. So I recommend going with a step-by-step approach, knowing that, okay, I need this amount, but I could need more. Let's start with this amount and then work our way up. I mean, our units are built pretty simply to where you can plug them in and start them and they start working. It's not that hard. So if you need more, it's as simple as plugging them in and having the available electricity. So, you know, a more modular step-by-step approach is a good way to go.
Stupid question, is the Quest 115 volt or 230, or do you have both?
So most of our units run on 110, but our new 506 and our 225 run on 208 to 240.
Any three-phase?
No, single phase.
Okay, just making sure, because there's a lot of commercial shit coming up. One of the buildings we looked at's fucking all three-phase.
There are some exceptions, but I would want to talk one-on-one.
I got you. No, I understand. We can always drop a leg for the non-engineered. You can always drop a leg on three-phase.
Yeah, we'd love to talk to people one-on-one. Absolutely.
Excellent. So, what do you see? Well, back up. So now we are now in freestyle. So, I mean, wherever I go, there's fucking Quest. There's Quest 2. They're hanging everywhere. The new unit that I saw, I believe, and I'm at $7,100. I was loving it. I said, do I get the Subcool discount? He said, that is the Subcool discount, the Bog discount, right?
I hate to correct the master.
I fucked it up. No, to tell me what I fuck up.
The MSRP on our new unit is $6,500.
Okay, so I fucked it up. So it's a little cheaper than I thought. A little cheaper.
So that's actually, if you go pint for pint, amp for pint,
yeah,
that unit is a hell of a deal.
No, it is. And my point was not that it's expensive. My point was, if you want a Quest, you got to fucking buy it. I mean, they are in the most demand units that are out there. I see them. I'm sure you do. I see them hanging long before I knew who you guys were, in big ass warehouses up in the corner, and they're still just pumping along. And that's the first thing I noticed. I was like, "What's that big fucking white thing up there?" Oh, that's a Quest. I was like, "What's that?"
So actually, just a little anecdote here. We put it up on our Instagram. We recently posted something about how a unit's been up for, I want to say, around 15 years, 20 years going. It's a long story, but longer than most people would actually expect a dehumidifier to last. Our units last that long. You check out our Instagram and check out the story with Mike Carr and how long our units actually last.
Cool.
They go forever.
Well, I appreciate it very much. Make sure you check out Quest Dehumidifiers. And, of course, John is a friend of ours. He's a weed nerd. He's not just a guest. He hangs out with us all the time, sees him at shows. Yeah, anytime you're down in Arizona, come check us out. We'll take you out to dinner and show you the fucking pool full of weed that's coming up. So thank you very much. I hope you will hang around. We are going to make time now. I'm going to give him kind of a minute to prepare for Jason with Fino Seed Bank, who has been nice enough to come in tonight. I want to talk with him about a project that I'm excited about and some other things. Jason, how are you doing tonight?
Doing fantastic, Sub. How about yourself?
Life is kind of peachy and good. I tell you, one thing I like about Arizona is I have not eaten at the same place yet unless I wanted to. And I just got to expand all this. So I go in the morning and I go to this place called First Watch, and they make homemade ciabatta roll bread, which they slice and bake. They make hollandaise sauce on the damn thing. I get this shit called Millionaire's Bacon, which is bacon drizzled with maple syrup and cilantro on it. I get a piece of ciabatta bread with jelly and a coffee, and it's fucking $18. Like in California, that's a $50 breakfast. And yeah, it's just, I'm really enjoying eating really good food in really nice places with really good service, and they bring the tip, and you're like, fuck yeah! It's like a touchdown. So anyway, come on down. Amen. And we'll take you guys out. So what is going on in Colorado and with Fino Seed Bank, and more importantly, with your incredible brain that you got packed in that fucking head?
Oh, thank you. We are finishing up right now on a couple of strains that should be ready by early next year. We've got an F2 of our Costa Rican landrace called Costa Royale that we'll have coming out. And then we have a couple of hemp strains. We've been acquiring a bunch. I've got like so many in test right now. It's amazing, which is a good thing. And we're trying to get our garden partner of ours ready to do some pheno hunts for you, hopefully. So we've been working on a lot, definitely.
I'm very excited about this. I'm glad you brought it up because I didn't know how much I could say. So one of the things that happened this afternoon, and this is just one little side project I've got going, and I didn't want to give this one to you. I have my own little shit for you, homeboy. But I have been collecting seeds for a very long time, and one of the things I had in my kitty for a project was two packs of Blue Moon Shine, a couple of packs of Blueberry, all from about 9 years ago before the fallout, and I've charged those to someone locally to run through. So if I send you a shitload of rare stuff, you can run through it and pretty much work with me and get to the end of the run.
Definitely. Like I said, I would love to see how much space we have available. This grower that I work with loves testing strains. So when I let him know that you were interested, he was like, let me know what's up. So
I've got the last 5-pack of Danny Boy in existence that I found in my box, and I have the last 5-pack of Danielle. And while those are extremely small numbers, don't tell me you don't want to fucking crack them.
All day. I mean,
right. So, and the reason I'm giving up this stuff is because I have about 50 strains that I want to work through. There's no way I can run them all in my life. These projects are all 1 to 2 years to get where I want to get with them. I have picked a specific Northern Lights hash plant Widow that I want to work with, and a couple of others out of that box. But there's lines in the box, like the Danielle Danny, the Fiesta Mix, the Astros. There's stuff from our past. So I can't wait to get those to you, and we will be talking more about that next week. I want to talk just a little bit about, I use your name so much, Jason. I was bragging hell just that I know you the other day. I said, I know a boy in Colorado got more hemp plants than you know what to do. I was telling him about how if you use fertilizers or maybe a phosphorus unloader that maybe you could fuck up and ruin your crop, and they were just amazed. So what's going on in the hemp industry in Colorado now?
It's booming. The harvest came down this year. It looks like Colorado is yielding some of the largest in the state, but there's a huge demand. I work with a couple of processors, and there's been some buyouts, like international buyouts, which is quite amazing. So it's booming. The CBD industry is booming, which is a good news. And yeah, we're actually working really hard to catch up on some of the strains because there's so many more new ones. Last year maybe there was a handful. This year there's 30 or 40 strains that we know about that we are trying to acquire or work with breeders on getting on the hemp side. So between that and the actual production numbers, it's quite amazing. Most of the farmers I know are almost sold out, and we haven't even gotten to the end of this year. Like usually they hold on to it for at least 6 months before they sell. So it's gonna definitely it's a booming industry, that's for sure.
Dude, that is awesome. Mr. Dookie, by the way, I saw you say that a couple of times now, and we can talk, bro. I mean, you're old school 77, dude. If I can't give a fucking pack of sour IBL to you, who can I give a pack to? So we'll talk offline. I wanted to, real quick, Malik, didn't we have some help with Starlet today? I wanted to talk about that just
Star
a little
Delta
bit.
9,
Yeah.
her son, I believe, has got diagnosed with a certain kind of cancer. I have to look up the name. I have it in my email here, but it's really, he goes in for surgery on the 10th and gets like the whole left side surgery done. So we're gonna get some CBD out to him right away Monday, and then anything else we can do, we're gonna make sure they get a little bit of isolate and one of the tincture bottles, and then anything else we can do, we're gonna take care of her right away. And everybody knows she's a weed nerd, regular in chat. Show her some love. Go to her channel. She streams regularly, and she's always doing stuff for everybody else.
She is one of the sweetest people that I know. She even tried to play peacemaker between me and who, and she's just a nice lady. And she got some fucking shitty news yesterday. I mean, just fucking horrible, gripping news. And I'm the only thing I was happy about is it was very easy. I said, "Have you got Malik's number?" No. Well, get in touch with Malik, and Malik will get in touch with the people we need, Jason, Fino Seed Bank, and the CBD will be on the way, and it happened just that fast. And God, it feels good to be able to do that.
Amen.
Yeah, amen. An invasive ductal carcinoma is what it's called. And they go in on the 12th for surgery. So
they be cutting shit out. This is like as bad as it gets when it comes to the cancer shit. So
imagine if it was your family up.
Yeah, that's the way I always feel. Our prayers go. Being a person who's experienced that kind of bullshit tragedy in my life is not something that's fun to deal with. So thank you guys for helping out, reaching out to Starlet. If you guys want to reach out to Starlet and send her your condolences, I'm sure she would appreciate it. She is absolutely one of us. Let's see what else here. I got a little bit of house cleaning to do before we get to Ben, Do we have a sound check on Ben Malik? Are we good to go?
Yeah, we're golden. Ben, you there, brother?
Yeah, we're good. I got video too.
Yay, very cool, brother. All right, well, let's kick it on. I just want to make sure you're there. So, good to see you again, my friend. How are you doing?
Good to see you too.
So, let's see. Let's get this crap right. Hey, I got to get the right page. My crew is so awesome. I have all these notes, and I got the wrong one in my hand. Here we go. Okay. Talking points for Phylos. Galaxy and how it works. Basically, excuse me. I'm fucking this all up, guys. Here we go. Phylos Bioscience is an agriculture genomics company based in Portland, Oregon. Probably why I hadn't heard of you in fucking Arizona. Using modern molecular genetics and computational biology to better understand the most important and latest studied plant in the world, cannabis. You're using scientists to create tools that are allowing our new industry to grow safely and sustainably. Our services are designed to be used by producers of all sizes, from small home growers to large-scale commercial growers, and we will be using them on our project in Colorado, in Arizona, if at all possible, to make sure that the cultivars that go into the stores are the cultivars and they stay the cultivars. Welcome to the show again, Ben.
Yes, well, thank you for having me. And you should use us. Talk to us. We have some people that use us in Arizona, but yeah, we're still getting our name out there.
I was talking to Cooper's Stone, the biggest fucking. I mean, he got a greenhouse that looks like fucking Nevada or some shit on it. And he, so I was like, you guys got to get on the program. Let me tell you, his eye went up in the air quickly. I explained how it works. I explained God's pussy and the whole nine. He's like, oh, okay, I got to get it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was cool. So, tell us what's going on now with Phylos. I mean, you guys are growing fast, more and more strains every day, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, we add about 100 every month into the Galaxy now pretty regularly. And we just launched Certified, and then we did an update to the genotype report. So the first widget, essentially, first little part in the genotype report is much easier to read. There's just like 2 clear lines or 2 clear rings instead of like that kind of jumbled mess of like what's related to what. So
I can't wait to go look. Yeah, because it's.
Oh yeah, you should.
You guys have to explain the shit to me half time I look at it. But I know.
No longer. Yeah, it's much easier to read.
I love it. When I first heard about Phylos Bioscience, you guys hadn't even contacted or had not started working with DNA, and now you guys are with DNA and hell, half the big or more than half the big companies, correct?
Yeah, no, a lot of big companies now, yeah, for sure. People all over, I think probably in like 15, 20 states now, and then 2 different countries.
Okay. So the one thing I notice is the more strains you get, the more accurate the database gets, because we can only see what's related. So I'm going to get right off this chart right now and ask you a fucking hard question. So, I mean, how do you guys, when I send in a 1976 Oaxacan, or what happens when you guys find something that is not in the base or is predates this type of collection? I mean, can you explain how what gets in the database is in, and maybe something that's not related could relate?
For sure. So we'll start with the first part. We get samples again from all over. A lot of those were from herbariums, so they're like known samples, known dates and times, and from different universities. We also would get them from old collectors like Robert Clark, David Watson. People know about that. But the herbarium ones are really useful. We have ones that date back to the late 1800s, and so we still do get those random ones that are really disconnected, old landrace, and they just show up as incredibly rare because they don't share a lot of genetic information with anything else in the galaxy. And so we still get those from time to time, not as often as people would think, and a lot of times people are disappointed to learn that something that they have isn't really as old as they think it is. Right. But we have a really, really good baseline, and something like 4,000 to 5,000 different varieties in there right now from 81 different countries now.
Amazing. So if you could tell us just a little bit more about how it works. I mean, you're going to send a kit test kit. So I order a test kit. It comes to me. I take a genetic sample. I'll go over this part. One of the things I like, I send you this little... It's in your wash. One of them right here. There's a wash, a kit. You wash off a piece of the stem or a piece of the leaf, and you send it. And I will also mention that you guys do sex testing, correct?
We do, yeah. So we can find the Y chromosome just about 7 to 10 days after germination of a seed.
And since I got somebody on the fucking video, Smarter Than Me, please let us confirm that a seed is either male or female before germination.
That is correct. It is already determined once it's formed.
So for 20 years, when I told you guys if you germinate seeds at a cooler temperature, you only get females, I was fucking wrong.
It's cool. We're here to solve pressing questions of the cannabis industry.
I joke, but I'm happy to know. I mean, seriously.
No, it's good. No, it's good.
Now we know. So, and this guy ain't fucking. He knows. Okay. So it's not like up for discussion no more. It's not like flat Earth or some shit. It is genetics. Yeah. Okay. So once you get the kid in, what do you guys do with it?
So once we get the kid in, you have an account with us typically on our website. So we attach all your data to the account. We will essentially pulverize the sample that you give us or micronize it, and then extract DNA from it, and then we will put it into a plate with 100 other samples, just like they would do for DNA testing of any other plant or human. And we will run it through a PCR machine. That takes about 2 days. And then Alicia Holloway, who is the vice president of bioinformatics at Phylos, will extrapolate that data and then add it to the Galaxy.
I'm going to be really mean right now and tell you that people in the channel that say they try to go to the website on pads and mobiles and stuff can have a problem. So
no, you're not being mean. We are currently working on that. Apparently, it is much harder to make the Galaxy work on a mobile device or an iPad than we thought. But we are working, and we've heard everyone's qualms, and we totally agree. And so we are working on it right now.
Awesome. So I want to get our breaks right past it. We'll get back to genetics, but in sexting, I mean, you're talking about literally you can send you 1,000 pieces of plants and you can tell us which ones. Okay.
Yeah, we've had farms send 10 to 15,000 individual samples last year, and again, we could always turn those around pretty quickly. Collection on that large of a sample will take a few days, but we would cycle through results in 48 to at the most 72 hours. So that's just 7 days after germination. If you get them to us, then you could know by day 10, 11,
so just
12, depends.
Take tiny snips of the small leaves, the petal leaves?
Yeah, just the cotyledon leaf, and then smash it onto a card and send it over to us.
That's fucking pretty badass. I mean, I still do a 10-pack the old way, but I can tell you right now, when we do 500 at the new project that we're doing at Urban Greenhouse,
and I'll show you a calculator later too, privately, but we're about to launch it publicly. But it's super, super easy to tell that you end up saving money, because when you do on a scale like that, it's only $10 a seedling, and instead of having to grow it out for a month, 2 months, which will cost you more than $10, you could just keep them in the little seed tray.
Well, and for us, you're gonna laugh your ass off the first time you do it. For me, you're gonna be throwing the fucking females away. So.
Opposite of most people that send stuff in,
well, it works. I mean, talk about fast. Give me 50 males to sort through. Thank you.
Boom, we can do it.
There we go. All right, that's cool. Somebody asked me a quick question. I will kick it real quick because I'm just so happy about this. It's you weed nerds' fault that did this. Okay, somebody asked me about my new monitor check. It's not, the computer's not here yet. Okay, so this is my 39-inch curved parabolic gaming screen underneath an 80-inch monitor. So I'm ready to not fuck around. All you gamers just game in your pants.
Oh, you're talking to me right now.
I figure I can get a porn, 3 spreadsheets, and a fucking YouTube show all at the same fucking time. I'll be good to go. Sorry about that little diversion there, Ben. So, what is working for Phylos Bioscience like? I mean, you get to see some amazing genetics, yeah?
Yeah, no, we get to see amazing genetics. We get to see a lot of different grows, and we feel really fortunate just to be a part of the industry and really help out in any way we can. I feel really, really fortunate to be a part of the project, and we're really just happy to help at the end of the day. A lot of things are changing, and we want to make sure that the way the cannabis industry develops is the right way and not the way that old agriculture has developed and kind of ruined things for everyone else. So
I've been dying for it.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Forever.
And we still have Open Cannabis Project, and we're putting making sure that the Open Cannabis Project starts to get the love it deserves and more attention, and so more and more people put data in there.
Props to you, man.
I want to bring back a long lost feature that I haven't been able to do recently, and now I think we should bring it back. So we've got some time left in the show tonight. We're going to bring back No Stupid Questions. So if you guys have questions, if you could get them into the channel, and the mods will grab them, and we'll do a little bit of question stuff. The other thing I want to talk about now with Ben is something that's personal. So as you know, I have a contractor grow here in Arizona, and we're going to be working with My Genetics. The first one we'll be working with is a Jesus OG Kush, and I understand that you partner with people, so we will be partnering, I'm assuming, with Phylos to assure that our genetics are, once they come out of the lab, they go into the factories, wherever they go. So you have a program to certify genetic cuts, correct? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so it's essentially just an update to the genotype test. And so if you've gotten a genotype test in the past or plan on getting one, it is a small part of that certification chain. And so it's just a way for everyone, from whether you're a clone producer or a grower or even a distributor, to keep track of what you really have and to kind of gain some sort of consilience in the industry, so everyone's on the same page eventually. So everyone has the same OG, everyone has the same Girl Scout, and things kind of start to line up better. And so the genotype report is really a way to just track who has what. So there's a little URL underneath, and we can tell you a clone. So even if the name is different, you can track down, the consumer can really track down that same OG Kush or Jack Herrera or whatever they really liked every single time. And it also helps farmers differentiate from each other, so they can prove that they either have something that's not in the galaxy yet, incredibly rare, or they are growing the same thing as their neighbor. And so the consumer can get that same product every time and then make a choice between the farmer, because at the end of the day, it's really the farmer that puts in all the effort and love that makes that cannabis variety special.
I gotcha. Well, and so let's talk just a little bit of branding end of it. So, yeah. I mean, what are you going to offer? So what we're doing in my company is we're going to come up with a hologram. So in the end, the last thing that gets done in our organization is I'm going to put a hologram on it. Now, one of the things, and this sounds so self-serving, but one of the things I'm excited about is we spent 3 days in the room trying to determine what dank was, what terp profile, cannabinoid profile, dry content, and all that is in the parameters. But what's really exciting for me is, in the end, I'm the guy that can say, thumbs down, burn the shit in the fucking backyard and don't put my name on it. Or I can say, thumbs up, put it in a box with my name on it. My idea is to conjoin that hologram with a company like yours that says, yes, this is the Jesus OG cut that we found on social media, number fucking one. So is that something your company will do?
100%. So with your genotype report, you get a little genetic fingerprint, and that's algorithmic color code that is unique to that genotype. And so in the future, it might be scannable. We're working on stuff like that. But right now, it's unique just to that genotype and any other genotype if it is a clone variety of it. So it's just a way using genetic data science to distinguish different genotypes in a cool little colorful thumbprint.
I cannot wait to see it on the box that we have already created.
Yes. Has anyone shown you yours yet for your varieties?
No.
Okay, I'm going to send them to you after this.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And I will tell you, I got to tell you something else, man. I got to apologize. Yeah. I mean, right in the end, just before the fire, I mean, we were trying to get some stuff together. I wasn't technically in charge of my garden. I am so happy now that we are, and I've got to get... there's a couple of things I need to get back. Oh, by the way, I must mention that if I were to give Jason the fucking Fino cut to put in fucking cryo storage, I wouldn't be fucking flying around the United States trying to find it again. Sorry.
Right. No, you're good. You're good. I totally understand, and don't apologize. That was a crazy time for everyone in that industry. And everyone's still really recovering. So
yeah, I understand that. Leo had a staph infection just recently, and he's been sick, but he actually will be giving me the Pinot Noir back after the Emerald Cup. The Emerald Cup has everybody busy. If you haven't heard my rant on it, I'm not impressed that people have to pay an extra $100 for general admission tickets, and I've kind of given them shit about it, and I'm not going. However, I want all my friends to go to the Emerald Cup and have a blast and give some. I mean, a lot of people lost their homes up there. A lot of people lost their crops. I can't imagine what it's going to be like during that situation. So, but after the Emerald Cup, we're going to get busy again on genetics. One of the things that I think both Jason and Ben will find interesting is because my house burnt down, I can pretty much have any cut on the planet. I mean, it goes kind of like this. Hey, brah, how you been? Pretty good, bro. Heard you lost your fucking house. Yeah, I got one pair of tennis shoes, bro. Think you could give me that cut? Yeah, sub, not a problem. So I'm going to be able to collect an enormous amount of genetic material, work with it. Some will have to work with on contract because sometimes people want to get paid for their moms. But it's opened up a new thing. I've got Kyle Cushman's Star Dog. I've got his cough. Bordello, West Coast Bordello. We have opportunity to get in so many more. So I can't wait to not only work with those, but to get them to both of you guys. One of you guys gets to freeze it or whatever the fuck so it can last forever and ever. And then the other person's going to make sure that it is what it is and it stays what it is. What an exciting time to be involved in the cannabis industry.
Oh, yeah. And Phylos will be at Emerald Cup. And then we also donated to a fund with a bunch of other Oregon businesses for NorCal growers for the fire.
That's fantastic.
Just because we're all in the same industry together, so.
It never went away. I mean, I stopped talking about it because it mentally beat me down. I will tell you a couple of facts. I mean, we raised as much money as we could. I sold some of my outdoor crop that I could have used the money, but I told these people I was going to help them. When you tell somebody you're going to help them, you help them. And a lot of people raised a lot of money. Patrick the Soul King raised more than anyone else. I believe some of the GoFundMe accounts that were made actually went to him. I want to tell a quick story. Apparently, and I'm not supposed to tell this story because I don't have the checks, but apparently there's a person up in Northern California that runs a dispensary that started a GoFundMe for me and Jill, and the money didn't come down, and it got put under Jenny Northstar's account. And so she said, don't say anything, the check is here, but the check's coming. And I'm going to send half of it to Jill because it was raised for me and Jill. But Green Goalie's fucking van broke down again. If you guys don't know Green Goalie, he's a vet, Army vet. He's in a wheelchair. He's fucking got fragged. He's pretty much, life takes a shit on him every chance he gets. And today his fucking car broke again. So we're going to use some of that money to help Green Goalie. So look for that on social media when you see that check come in. That is a direct result of people in Northern California raising money for people who need it. And I'm going to divert my half. It was raised for me, and I can do the fuck I want to, but I won't spend it because I'm out. If you hadn't noticed, I'm out spending shit because I work really hard and I make a lot of money. But I don't want people saying, oh, you took charity, and so I don't. I give it away. So I'm going to help out Green Goalie, and I can't thank you guys enough for the money you raise for all the people up there. And if you don't know, it's still fucked. So my current situation is this. Y'all want some numbers? Here you go. So let's say you have an $800,000 house in Northern California with about 60 pounds of weed in the backyard and about $1 million or so in seeds under the house. Once fire comes, it's gone. Then they do this really cool thing and they say, hey, you know your $800,000 house? Well, it's not worth $800 because your neighbor's house is burned down and you live in a shitty neighborhood. How the fuck does that work? I thought you were supposed to get insured before the fire. So then they pay off the loan. My loan's about $285. They gave us $595. No shit. Take it, split it with my other half. I get about $116,000 for my home. Oh, yeah, I can just buy another one right away, right? So I don't know how the fuck. So here's the moral of that story. If you own a home, whether you have insurance or not, and it burns down, you get fucked. So I can't imagine how many people up in Northern California are experiencing worse than me. I was given money to eat on. I was given money to live on. And there are thousands of people up in Northern California who had no insurance. So can you imagine what it's like to lose every single thing you have and then not get a food check, or even worse, not get help from the community like you guys do? I still will tell you guys, without being a crying bitch a thousandth time, but I still open things in this house that you guys sent me, and it still has an effect. The other day I opened something, so I think somebody sent me a whole pack of socks or some shit. I was just like, it made me remember the times. I do really appreciate it very much. I wanted to kick it real quick to Sid, who lives above the fires, and let him talk about the impact that he saw. I know he's been trimming, he's been out of it, but there's no way you have not been affected. Can you tell us how the fires affected you?
Man, it's just sad seeing everyone. Well, I mean, I didn't personally get affected, but I have a bunch of friends who literally lost everything. It's sad. It's sad, but it's also beautiful because you know, not the event, but it's beautiful because you see a lot of people coming together that wouldn't normally and raise a bunch of money, get everyone back on their feet.
No, it's definitely, and from my standpoint, I mean, most of my viewers know me fairly personally. I mean, I live my life like a fucking soap opera online. Everything but jacking off and shit, and I do live. So that's kind of what's happened. But what I will tell you is, for me, it was okay. I mean, I lost my house, but I have, hell, everything I do is new. Like, everything I own is new. Weirdest thing, so you guys gave me clothes, and I moved into the Porn King's house, and so all my furniture was on a porn set. And so then I bought all these new clothes with the insurance money. So I came home, and I'm like, I'm in a room I've never been in, putting clothes I've never owned into fucking dressers I don't know where. I need sticky notes for every drawer. It's like, this is where your underwear, this is where your jeans are, shit. But it's also exciting. It's kind of like being on I don't want to say camp out, but it's new. Every day is interesting, and waking up in a place that you've never lived, it's also kind of interesting. I mean, I get in the car and I go west. I've never seen anything. He wants to take me out. This guy here wants to take me out in the desert on some giant diesel 4-wheel drive truck and let me drive it all across snakes and cactuses and shit. So I'm actually making the best of the fact that my home burned down. Now, having said that, I could not afford the $93,000 that it was required to scrape my slab off. So I opted for FEMA to come in and scrape my slab. And that's where I'm at. My property is for sale. It is DA, Diverse Agriculture. The address is 3769 Porter Creek Road in Santa Rosa, California. You can look it up on the satellite. You can grow 5,000 square foot indoor, 5,000 square foot outdoor, but California laws are fucking heavy now. So bring your checkbook to the table. All right, it's time for us to, did we get everything with Phylos? Ben, I had one more question for you. What is going next with you after the Emerald Cup, first of the year 2018? What is Phylos? Phylos going to be doing then?
I mean, we'll definitely be at some shows. We're getting ready for the spring season when a lot of people start popping seeds for outdoors, though we see it growing pretty steadily just from indoor grows too. So we're really just getting amped up for the season.
You anticipate a big season this year?
Yeah, definitely. Last season was way bigger than we thought, and we wanted to be prepared this year. So
awesome. Phylos is a genetic company that does testing. If you haven't been to the Phylos Galaxy, it is fucking cool. Go check it out. Go click on something you smoke, see what it's related to. Go play in the Blue Dream Milky Way Galaxy. You can really learn a lot. I mean, it's really cool just to see. I like to get over on the ties and shit and see where those things are connected to really weird stuff that goes out in the fringes, and those strains that have very few connections. So those are the ones that interest you very much, I assume.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Thank you very much for coming on tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
Cool. All right, so I want to. Hey, it's time for break. That means I have to play a song. Okay, this is really tricky. No, I'm not. We're not playing a song tonight. Next week, we'll do the music. I have a laptop and a portable speaker. Next week we'll have the big screen. We'll have the Bose stereo. Okay, cool. So no break tonight. All right, let's see. I want to go over a couple of things that we're pumped about. I've talked to you guys about the Phoenix Rising and everything. It may look like I stream all the time, and yeah, I do, but I actually have been working my ass off with my amazing team. Chef Joel, tell you guys a quick story. So when the house burned down, we lost every seed, every plant, every single thing we own. I mean, my pipes, my bongs, my fucking Domkring toe tag. I lost everything. And so about 3 years ago, I started working with a good friend of mine, Jeff Joel and Jenny Northstar of Northstar Genetics, and they started working with some clones. Now, somebody came in the channel earlier and was starting some shit, and I address shit directly nowadays, okay? So here's the deal. Somebody asked me about the Jesus OG Kush. Joel found the Hell's OG at Harborside about 1996, and he used those genetics to create Jesus OG Kush. I took the cuttings to my friend's Dioxide house, who didn't know how to fucking grow weed, and we pollinated in his closet. There's pictures of it online. I use people's spaces. You got a fucking 8x8 closet and a light one, I'll put a goddamn pot plant in it, okay? So the genetics came from Harborside. And that's actually how that came to be. So if it wouldn't have been for Joel, we wouldn't have any of the strains that we have except for the fringes like Blood Red and the Thug. He holds so much of my gear, you wouldn't believe it. He holds the Jack's Cleaner. He holds the Killer Queen. He holds the Apollo 13. And if it wouldn't have been for the fact that Forestville didn't burn down, I would have lost every single thing I own. The genetics that exist now in my company, Subcool Seeds, did not exist at my house. They are not my property. They belong to this man. And it's the way genetics work nowadays. You can't go to this guy's house and take his shit just because it's got a name of mine. So we are so happy. Also, he had about 20 of the strains that I make on property, made by him and me. So these are original core genetics. The cheese, the Quirkle that makes Cheesequake, the Jack the Ripper male that makes Jack's Cleaner 2. So the reason I'm being so deliberate about this is because the way the internet works, you can't ever tell the rumors and shit. So these seeds, the Jesus OG seeds we have about 8,000 of them. They are original core genetics. And we are working hard to put these genetics that were made before the fire into special packaging that says it's fucking OG original gear. Some new gear will be original, same parents. Some new gear will not be original. Cheesequake Quirkle was lost. So we have to go in and find another Quirkle using somebody like Ben to find out what we want to find out about him. And once we do so, we will make Cheesequake. But it won't be the same damn Cheesequake. And that is why I'm telling you, if you have the opportunity to get a hold of the OG genetics, they're going to go away. They're going to fucking cost more because I lost several $1 million. I'll mark them up a little bit. I'm just being honest with you. So the stuff that's original, that's rare, you better jump on it. If you ask me directly, I'm going to be able to tell you if it's new or not. We won't be looking for a new Vortex male because we have it. Duke Diamond has it, and our friends in Galactic Gardens do. The original cheeses, so many of the strains we have are good. But there are things we are going to have to go back and find. I'm excited to announce the releases of these strains that me and Joel were working on for 2018, and we were waiting, but since it all burned down, check it out. We've got AFGU Overdrive. So that's an AFGUI times the Space Dude. It's got a nice drip to it and a really tangy flavor. The Astro Snaps is the Frisco Snaps that Joel has won several cups with. He crossed it also with our Space Dude. One that I'm exceptionally happy about and one that's going to take care to grow is the Banana Jack OG. So that is Banana OG times our JTR male. The Cherry Cordial, I just put a picture up today. My God, Hell's OG times Space Dude. Why don't we do that before? We made Jesus OG Kush and half the people on the fucking planet grow it. We're like, well, why didn't we put it in there with the porno dude? Let some Ron Jeremy action happen. Well, that happened. We also have Peace Train. If you guys don't know about Vintner's Moonshine, so Joel found it about 6 years ago. It's black. It gets purple resin with blue heads on it. It's really, really, really gnarly. He's crossed it with JTR to make the Peace Train. He's also crossed it with the Space Dude to make Sangria. Go look at the picture I just put up of Sangria. It smells like Merlot dipped in cherries. It is insane. The other thing I like about these strains is that Chef Joel collects, he has over 80 mother plants in his garden. And he has shit that none of you guys have. None of you guys. I'm like, I got a pineapple tie from 1976. What the fuck, dude? So I see Bond shaking his head. The dude's got some shit, right?
I've been there. I've seen it. It's crazy. The dude is absolutely. I've seen his whole. Well, you know the room downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can second that. The bud cellar.
It's ridiculous.
First time I went into the dude's hash room, I thought I was going to pass out. I was like, you got 200 jars of weed in here, man. Yeah, no. He's not the most... Awesome. They're awesome. He's not the most social person. I got some other stuff to tell you. You guys have been watching what's going on forever. I can tell you that the lawyers have set the shit up so the OV will be returned. I finally kissed enough ass that I can get it in possession of my legal team so it can be transferred. So enough. It's fucking going back. Jesus fucking Christ. All right, we also have Zinger, Sour Strawberry times Space Dude. Really excited about that one. I've been looking for a strawberry strain that's not the Strawberry Coffin. I'm not dogging Kyle. I love the strain. But if you've ever grown his cut, it's a bitch. It's a mean little pissy little plant. It's hard to keep healthy. It likes to fade and get brown leaves and look ugly. And then probably my favorite of the new stuff that's coming out, and you guys can grab it from any of my reps, and that is the Uva. So that's the Highland Oaxacan time Quirkle, and I will fucking grow it as soon as I get a pack of it. So let's see what else. That shit excites me. I don't know. I just told you guys 7 new strains that we've been working on for a solid year, less than a month after the house was destroyed. So can we get a fucking heads up?
Yes, I cannot wait to have some of those. Good job, Chef Joel.
Yeah, if it wasn't for him and Jen, I just don't know what we would do. Okay, let's see. We got that covered. Strain releases and restocks. We are working as hard as we can. Jack the Ripper is in a hoop house at Joel's house. Quirkle is in a hoop house at Joel's house. So many other strains that we lost. The only strain that I can't make today is Pinot Cuvée and Tito de Verano. So those are the only strains I can't produce at this time. I will tell you another thing. I love using this platform to piss everybody off. We're going to charge Jill, however it works out. I don't want the black cherry soda back. So she can make Plushberry and Ace of Spades. I don't want the Brianberry Cough. She will make that. The Strawberry Daiquiri she was so excited about working on. I would love her to make that for you guys. So she's going to have some stuff she makes, and then I'm going to make about 800 fucking strains for you guys before I die. And we'll see who gets to the end of the race on this one. Let's see. Upcoming Emerald Cup. I have said that I'm displeased with the Emerald Cup, but I will be honest with you. My biggest displeasure with the Emerald Cup is that it's cold and rainy. And if I go up there, I'm going to get sick like a motherfucker. So I'm being a little bit of a bitch about the whole thing. Taking it out maybe on the fact that it costs a lot of money to go up there. But that's the truth. It's going to be 35 to 40 degrees and raining. Everybody up there has the goddamn flu when you go. And I get sick every time I go. So I'm going to skip it this time. I'm going to stay in the sunshine and have a New Year's Eve party here at my house with selected friends and some friends of mine from Vegas that are coming into town. So stay tuned for me to rock the fucking world with that. If y'all think I pissed some people off before. Let's see. Coming up soon. We've got some stuff. Well, I'm going to kick it over to Malik to talk about the upcoming guests we've got coming. Malik, take it away.
Yeah, we got John Carlos, the famous cigar roller, and he wants to do a custom box for you too. He makes some badass custom cigars.
I've seen him. I can tell you that people have. There's some controversy whether we should or not. I want to bring Gene Carlos into one of the booths in April to have him roll TGA cigars. I think it would be cool.
Oh man.
It could be an event that's kind of cool. I don't want the Magars to take over the fucking event, though. And he is a showman as much as I am. So, but he does make some really cool stuff. And the thing that I will say, and I don't like Magars, okay? I'm not trying to insult this guy.
24 karat ones he's making now. Look at this.
I look at that shit. He has got some unreal stuff. But this is what I was going to say. He's been making them for about 4 years. And we're going to have to assume from the first one he gave me 4 years ago, he's probably learned an incredible amount about the art of these things. So check him out. If you're into cigars, it's certainly a more healthy alternative. And what I understand, they will fucking bake you. I guess they last for 3 hours. Is that right?
Oh, well, I don't know. I've never had one, but they look beautiful. Just
somebody told me they last for a long time.
They last for a long.
When he was doing it, I don't know, maybe it was like 4 years ago with the gold ones when he first started it. I had gotten, I don't know, 3 or 4 of them from him because Callie knew him. So when I first started hanging out with Callie, they were good. A couple of them weren't as good as I thought they were going to be for the price. And if I pissed somebody off, oh well. I'm just telling my opinion.
No.
And I think the problem with it was he was using you have to cure those leaves. You know what I mean? You can't just take a green leaf or a flushed leaf and use it. Like, there's a process that has to be done so they burn correctly, and he was in the process of doing that. So, he is very talented at what he does, and he grows some killer weed too. So,
fucking awesome. So
the gold ones, it says 16 grams of flour and I'm big baller status. So
that's fucking crazy. All right, so what else is going on, Malik? We have also a couple of other people coming up, correct? The Bavita guys?
Oh, Anna from Integra is going to be joining us on the show. Absolutely.
Cool.
I got to get her locked in a couple weeks here. And shoot, I need to check the calendar. But yeah, we have some great guests coming.
Very cool. I wanted to tell you guys that especially the moderators, down here in Arizona, I see a lot of people. By the way, if you mods can watch what I'm doing, there's a whole lot of riffraff in the channel tonight. If you guys have watched, not direct. Anyway, I meet everybody I meet down here in Arizona. That's somebody. Fuck, I gave your name to a congressman, Malik. Everybody I know. I'm like, he's a guy who was standing there at a plot party. I was like, what do you do? He goes, oh, I'm a U.S. representative. I was like, okay, motherfucker, I grow weed, okay? So you're down with this? He's like, well, yes, we are happy to have you in the state. I was like, well, fucking great, dude. I said, you want to go burn one? He's like, no, I don't smoke. I said, I still got his card, too, U.S. representative. I have a blast with this shit. I mean,
so cool.
Especially now that I don't have, I'm broke, so my bank account's empty. I have no weed in my house. I don't grow pot currently, until I get this piece of paper that says I can grow as much as I fucking want. And so now I really love. I mean, I walk up to anybody in a restaurant. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? What do you do? Oh, I grow fucking cannabis. I'm an American ganja farmer, and I'm gonna fucking overgrow this. Goddamn planet.
That's what it's all about. And when I was talking to Jason the other day, he was telling me, you know what, Malik? It's not even about us. It's about this plant. And that stuck with me. And what you guys do, it sticks with a lot of people. So this is good work.
And you guys know how hard it is for me to smoke. I was telling somebody the other day, smoking nowadays is like trying to smoke the fucking coffee stirrer. It gets in my mouth, it gets in my nose. But that's not why I do this. I do this for the love of this community, this culture, and this plant. This plant has changed and revolutionized my life. Come on, guys. I'm a fucking 9th grade fuck up with a big mouth, and I don't know when to shut it. And because of this plant, you guys all come and watch my ass sit in my house on Saturday night and talk about weed. And because of this plant, anywhere I go, people know who I am. The coolest thing I think that happened this week, I have a new assistant named Scarlett Jones 420. Clear that crap up. She comes in, she helps me straighten up the house. She makes some food. She takes care of my dog because I'm busy. I run a fucking multi-million-dollar corporation. She goes and gets the mail. She does a few things. Nothing weird. But because of the internet, she's already got 300 or 400 followers or something like that. The coolest thing that happened this week was she was walking in Arizona in a store and somebody said, "There's Subcool's assistant." She said, she just went, no shit. She's been my assistant for like 2 days. So that's cool to be able to bring that kind of exposure to somebody and have a good time with it. And hopefully she's going to work out in the long term and be able to bring some organization to my dumb ass who loses my phone 15 times a day. And then I'm walking around the house and I can't breathe and I'm looking for a phone. I think Bond's probably seen this shit. What are you looking for, Sub? Give him a fucking phone. So anyway, that's why I have an assistant.
Oh man, we're bridging a lot of gaps. And what I meant to tell you is we got Lauren coming up also on the 5th or 19th, and they're just gonna. They got a releasing of their new glasses, the Agent 939 LED FX.
You know, I saw her at the Midas show, and she showed me a pair of those. She is one of the nicest people in one of the organizations. Well, all the people that come on our shows. Every time she sees me, she tries to put a new pair in my hand, and I'm going to tell you, Malik, we have a pair. There's a pair in my backpack that we never gave away. Okay. So I have a pair of Method 7s that I think the donation did not get out there. So if you want to, we can give them away on the Goof Off show. You want to do that?
Yeah, we can do that.
Cool. I'll grab them during the break, and we can do that. Let's see. I wanted to go also into the genetic line we were talking about the other day. If you guys get a hold of something like, say, Conspiracy Kush or Marionberry Kush, you know, I would grab a hold of it because that stuff's going to disappear and not come back. Of all of those strains that were created, I think Conspiracy Kush and Marionberry Kush are very special. And I definitely put a couple of packs back for me. I know several of my distributors on the website have them. I think Veronica, Will's wife, the new TGA online rep. And by the way, if you're looking for TGA seeds, you can simply go to Instagram, bam, Victoria Meds, and she will take care of you. And so we're happy to have her. We've had some problems before with people in other areas, and we're happy to have Miss TGA Will run and everything because she will not fuck it up. I want to mention one more time about Star Delta 9. Her son is having surgery in 10 days. If you guys could get out and show her some love, I would really appreciate it. I'm going to go into the questions now that you guys have given me, if I can find them. They're over here on the side. I got to expand my screen a little bit.
Right. Well, somebody was asking, Shredder asks, how do I get my favorite cut, Juicy Fruit, to stop pre-flowering? It seems to be getting worse. and affecting his flowering stage?
That is a really good question. You know, a lot of clones like that can actually get old and want to trigger. I know the black cherry soda is one. The suggestions I would make is, number one, making sure the damn plant is as healthy as possible. Maybe the extending the light cycle to 20 hours off of 18. But, you know, I see Jason shaking his head. This guy knows a lot.
I was
about
just about to
cannabis.
say 20 hours on, 4 hours off. I've had to re-veg a lot in my day, and especially some old cuts. I think that's a good way to go, and make sure it's as healthy as possible.
Transplant root down can actually cause a plant to pre-flower. Do you believe what I no, let me back up. Is it a fact that plants need that darkness to build up those hormones? Is that just something we made up, or is that fact?
That's tough. I've done 24 before, so back in the beginning days I did, and I re-vegged a clone, pure Kush clone, back on 24 hours on and 0 off. So I didn't have a strong fluorescent back then. Now I use really strong fluorescence, so I definitely give them 4 hours off, because I feel like, I don't want to say they bake, I feel like they get really, really good light during the day.
Yeah, I will tell you also,
light is key.
Another, wow, we're right on page. The Hortilux blue, super blue, has a bright motherfucker. Drop it down on that plant. I mean, don't fry it, but if you've got it 36 inches, go ahead and get her down with a vented hood. Get her right over the top of it, 24 inches, and just light intensity, you'll get it every time.
Yeah, and I checkerboard in my veg room, especially between the bigger and the smaller, between those, the blue horticulture or Hortilux, and then we have a iGrow, which is an induction-based fluorescent that's pretty bright fluorescence, and those are 400 watt induction-based lighting units. So when we checkerboard those, we get a really dark green, rich plants. So I think there's a balance there between, you know, the perfect medium, the perfect, I don't want to say newt mix, but it could be, you know, any sort of good healthy mix, and then a good light, and got to make sure your humidity is good and your temperature is good. All those conditions make sure that you can keep a plant in vegetative state for a long time. Sometimes forcing moms into vegetative states for long times is hard, and then re-vegging clones once they've gone a little far in flower can be difficult. So you got to have that good lighting and those good conditions.
Speaking of lighting, I want to take this off. We're running fast tonight because I'm so fucking excited about getting a contract today. I want to slow it down a little bit, though. This is one of the first times we've had this many growers on the panel and no one in here about lights. So I just want to talk freely about it. So I'm still a big fan of Hortilux single-ended. I talked to Tyler the other day. I was like, well, you got that new two-ended. That's what you guys know. He goes, the fucking single-ended is still the brightest one we sell. So we got Gavitas, which is owned by Monsanto, which is one reason to not buy them, but not a reason not to be honest with you. And then you've got compact fluorescents. Hortilux has got a brand new one. You got LEDs, which if people ask me, I say you can't grow real pot in LEDs, and then people cringe when I say it. I want to go down the panel and ask everybody what you're thinking of all the lights. I mean, you guys know I still use a fucking HPS, Hortilux. There's so many companies. I want to start. We'll just start with Sid. What do you guys think about all the technology? And just kind of give us a few minutes on it.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on. I mean, I've been seeing the numbers with LEDs, and they seem to work. But you gotta modify your whole grow for it to get the yield. And it's all about efficiency. You have to change all sorts of stuff. Right now, I like HPS. It still seems to be, you know, producing the yields.
Compact fluorescence. Have you seen anything with those, Sid?
No, not anything bigger than like closet or cabinet grows. I've seen T5s for vegging, getting seeds starting and stuff.
I got really shitty results with those Growers' Choice, and the guys were nice. They were nice when I saw them. They're like, "Hey man, I'm sorry I told you lights suck." They're like, "No, we saw what it did in your grow room. We're not going to be assholes, and we make some changes." They change the reflector. They do some stuff like that, but I'm not completely sold with them. John. I'm sorry, John is here. Hey, did I miss something, Malik?
Oh no, you're good. He wants to. He's cool for another 15 minutes. I just wanted to make sure we weren't killing him because he possibly had a errand he had to run.
Yeah, I just got to pick up a friend from the airport in about 20 minutes.
Oh, you're good then. No, you're good. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ratchet completely.
No, I'm good. I can do a little bit.
All right, Malik Spider, back to you.
I'm totally following you about the lighting. Yeah, this is exciting. So I've ran the Spider X LED from Fluence.science and Dan's Timber Grow Lights Vero 29 fixtures, and I get good results with both of them. Something that I have to remember when I'm using the LEDs is my plant leaf surface temperature has to be a little higher, so you gotta make the room a little warmer when you're running just LEDs, I feel. And like Shadow Warrior says in chat, he says all LEDs aren't created equal, and it's so true. There's the new quantum boards, and there's so much new things. And for the majority of people who are doing small grows, it's such a great option for cooling and everything. But plus your commercial aspect, you can't be HPS on certain levels, so it's a tricky one.
Thinking about going.
One unique thing on commercial aspect with LEDs is one of the grows I work with, they stack, so they have like 2 different levels. Where I don't think they would have ever been able to get that with HPS because they're so close to the plants with their LEDs.
Oh yeah,
and that's what I was referring to, people modifying their entire grows and stuff.
Yeah, instead of one big fucking light and big fan, it's maybe 3 sections, and because what we see is the fall off. And I'm gonna take some shit, but I mean I see LED bud that people bring to my house, and they're like, oh yeah, I got 2.5 pounds, and I'm like, yeah, don't look like the fucking weed I grow, bro. So that's why I'm getting in this discussion. So I want to kick it to John. John, your thoughts on the different lights, old school lights, and what you see. Uh-oh. He muted his mic by mistake. He's studying his microphone. Okay, Jason, we're gonna kick it to you. John tries to figure out his mic. Cobbs.
Yeah.
Cobbs, LEDs, double-endeds, fucking Gavitas.
I've tried Gavitas mainly, and then Hortilux I stick to. I've seen a lot of grows now switching over to LEDs. I've tried induction, didn't really like it, and I tried iGrow, like you said. I really tried their flower ones. I love their veg lights for veg. Don't really like their flower lights. They are good as like an additional unit. We were trying some mixed spectrum grows, and we were getting some great light outputs when we were mixing the two, but production is still not there. So I loved Gavitas, like you said, until the whole Monsanto issue. So I've just been sticking to Hortilux, and it allows me to control everything because then I can control the hood. I can control my ballast, which I use a boosted ballast. So if I'm running a 600 watt Hortilux, I run a 660 watt boosted, which gives it's just a little brighter and it runs just fine. So that's kind of my experience.
Got it. Ben, you see a lot. You talk to a lot of growers. So can you give us any input from your perspective on what growers tell you?
For sure. I mean, personally, I've definitely seen some really good LED grows, and they weren't using. I don't know what company they were using, but in Oregon, definitely seen that situation. A company called the Shoots Growery. Gavitas are really standard. I've definitely seen some LEC lighting do pretty well in veg at least. But typically, I mean, we're poking around, but that's not really my focus when I'm in there. Even though that's my background, but I'm still keeping an eye open. But I've seen some really interesting things. But a lot from LEC, which I wouldn't expect, and then people doing good stuff with LED, where I totally get what you're saying, where you see the weed and you're like that, and the numbers don't show, and it's not what you would normally expect from someone else's grow, but company here for sure, definitely seen that. Another company, Ecofirma Farms here too, has definitely been able to make it work.
Cool. And I know short duration on the light's good. Before I kick it to Eli, my head grower, I want to tell him that Crockett told me we had to check out Solitech. He just straight up, he came up to me, bought 1,200 fucking Solitech lights last year. He says they blow everything away, so I'm going to look at that. But having said that, could you please tell us your experience with lighting, Eli?
Yeah, I'm a Gavita or die. I'm not going to cut shit for that, and I'm Monsanto and all that shit. But straight out of Holland, dude, you know how many lights I run. It's fucking Gavitas. When you have to buy 1,000 lights at a time, you don't want fucking 40 of them to go bad, and you have to fucking RMA that shit. Like, Gavitas are solid as a motherfucker, and you throw down on them. If you're a commercial grower, and I'm going to catch shit for this too, but if you're a commercial grower and you say the word LED, go fuck yourself. Get the fuck out, dude. Just don't even. I stopped listening. It's all about fucking being able to throw down dollar for dollar, watt for watt, And it's Gavita all day long. So that's badass. But they went through some trouble in China in their manufacturing a couple years back, and hopefully they corrected that shit. And if they did, I want to throw down with them too. You know, it's all good.
You got an idea why this guy's a head grower for fucking Subcool LLC now? So basically, Gavitas, you're saying Gavitas, I was going to hang some Hortiluxes. The one thing about the pool grow is we got 16-foot ceilings penetrating down into an 8-foot pool. So I'm going to have to blast these fuckers to grow the 6 trees I want to grow. So, I mean, just listening to you, again, the Monsanto thing aside, I'm into making money. If I have to do it in the wrong way, what the fuck ever. I want to buy the best light. I mean, I drive evil cars too. So you're saying 6 Gavitas over that pool, huh?
Yeah, I'm cool with the Gavita reps, Jar, and all those guys, and Monsanto bought them or bought a part of them or whatever the fuck, but they never changed their shit. They still own their company. They're still the same fucking Holland-made lights. They're fucking bulletproof, you know. And that's what it comes down to, is not wasting time fucking flipping out bulbs and lights and chasing fucking electrical ghosts and growing fucking dank in a 100-light room, you know. And you just can't fuck around with shit, and you know, that's just my opinion. So whatever.
No, I agree. No, I agree 100%. And I've said that before and taken a little bit of heat. You know, go profit at all costs. But in this industry right now, I can tell you something. If you're not on your game, you will get chewed the fuck up. Me and Eli are competing with 2 people. One of the people, I don't know if they roster my show. If they do, I might get bitched at the next time I see them in public. But I mean, their goal is to grow as much fucking weed as fucking fast as possible, as cheaply as possible, and put it on the open market as fucking $5 a gram. Well, that ain't what me and Eli are thinking about doing. And so it's a very competitive market. So we can't fuck around. We can't waste money with the wrong kind of lights or changing out bulbs, because we will get chewed the fuck up. If we want to produce the quality of cannabis that I'm expecting out of this garden, we are going to have to do everything right. Okay, Melik, do we have any more questions? I really think we covered the lighting question really well. So first time ever, awesome. No LED person in here too. And I'm not dogging the LEDs. I saw an LED grow at Kyle's. It's fucking badass. It is. But of course, he's got 8 gazillion of the fucking strips in there. I mean, it's like $20,000 grow room with all the Fluence lighting in there. So give us the next question.
Audio's back now, by the way.
What now? Oh, your audio. Oh, go ahead, Big Guy. What do you think about lighting? You've been doing this a while.
My commentary is really resonant of what everybody said. I've seen some really good stuff from LED and LEC, but time and time again, just from what I've seen, conventional Gavita 1000-watt is the best. But you know, there's not to say that there's anything wrong with doing LED or LEC.
All right, we're going to try something cool now. Stoney's going to help me. You're going to pick up that camera, okay? This has never been done before. Yeah, fuck it, there must be 1,000 wires, okay? Watch this. Are we good? Are we mobile? We're mobile. You got to point out there. We're going to the pool room, okay?
We're going to have to outfit that pool room with a couple of quests here pretty soon.
We have lights. Turn on lights.
Hold on. Let's stand here. I'll turn on the light.
Okay, we're coming. Just hang on. We're over there. Come on. Yeah, more. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, camera, we're good. Okay, so this is our idea. So this is the drain the fucking pool, Subcool, Starling. So on this end, go up. We're going to give these on this end. You can see that the pool is about 8 feet. Here, hold this. There you go. So the pool's about 8 foot deep. So up in this area, we're going to put 4 Gavitas. They're going to be over this area of the pool. And I figured in this end of the pool, I would put some Hortiluxes because the pool is much shallower. And I'm thinking we'll be able to see a really good escape. This is not, always hard for me to stand and talk. This is not about production. This is about doing something really fucking cool. Using a badass space to do something unique. So 6 big ones down there, 6 small ones down here. I think it's going to be really cool. What do you guys think?
That'd be nice.
Excited to see it growing.
Of course, we're going to get some badass artwork out there. Okay, back to the studio. Thanks, guys. So now that you've taught me into getting Gavitas, I'm kind of excited now. Of course, Tyler's going to be really mad at me. So he wants all Hortiluxes in there. All right, guys. So, Melik, do you have a few more questions?
No, we killed all the questions. We're good.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming. We are finishing a little bit earlier tonight, which is quite okay. Please join me on the after show where we're going to do some silly stuff. We'll give away a pair of Method 7 glasses. Can I get one operator at least to come in and mod for me?
Absolutely.
Cool. I'm actually going to go catch my breath. I have had a really shitty week breathing, as you may can tell, and I'm going to go hit my inhaler a little bit and rest up real quick before we come back for the show. I want to thank everybody for joining. I don't have outro music because I can't turn the goddamn Bluetooth on with 5 screens. So, is anybody got anything else tonight?
I'd like to, I'm going to put something in chat just on what we talked about with the VPD earlier. We have an interesting article that we were a part of with Cannabis Business Times that interviewed multiple growers across the country on different grow styles and conventions. Just take a look at it. I just put it in the chat. It's on our website. I want everybody to take a look at it. And it definitely covers VPD to dig a little deeper. And just take a look. That's really all I wanted to make sure that I got out there.
Awesome. John, thank you very much for coming on. I know you have to go, and we do appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us. We'll see you very, very soon, and be careful and be safe and have a nice day.
Thank you for having me.
I do have one more quick little tidbit. Michigan University is the first to offer a degree in a marijuana science program. And they're just released. I'm going to throw this link in chat. Super exciting. For
real, you can go to college now and get a fucking degree and grow.
Yeah. Yep. Michigan here, right here. Come on, guys.
That is fucking badass. Go ahead, Ben.
Side note, that group was actually at a cannabis event recently, and they also have an extraction license that you can get and a school that you can go to be an extraction artist for cannabis.
Unbelievable.
Oh, wow.
I am very, if you guys didn't hear me, Farmer John's on his way. One of the best sauce makers. Didn't go to college. Does 2 gram fucking reclaimed dab hits. We go old school. So I figure anybody can do a fucking 2 gram reclaimed dab hit knows a little bit about the goddamn science. He did it standing up too. So the dude does dabs before he goes and works out. So that's our sauce scientist. So you guys, if you haven't seen it, I'm diversing a little bit. I saw a building last week that had a 40 by 60 building, 4-inch solid steel, triple bulletproof glass, 40,000 CFM exhaust. It's where they make BHO inside. It's literally how they make the shit because they have to be spark proof and explosion proof. I want to thank Ben with Phylos for coming on. Make sure that you go check out the Galaxy. Jason with Fino Seed Bank, fucking cannabis, hemp farmer extraordinaire. This guy's got more hemp plants than probably anybody I know. Maybe Canada, maybe the whole country. That's a bit more. Oh, by the way, if you didn't know that we are actually working to get into Canada. We've been approached more than a year. They are working with my lawyers, and it's really this simple. I have the fucking dank, and they don't. And even though I'm an outlaw, I'm burgeoning coming into the country with legality. And these people want good genetics. And I'm pretty simple. They're like, well, what do we got to do to get you in the country? I'm like, well, number one, you got to get me fucking unbanned, but they're not going to do that. But they need a clear path from my genetics into that country. So that means from my hand to their hand on social media. We already can get genetics in Canada. Y'all guys aren't fucking stupid. You can go Hemp Depot. But the Canadian government is not going to order from Hemp Depot or Attitude. We are working on getting into Canada. They're talking it being a multi-billion-dollar industry for cannabis because of the way this thing is structured. It's basically going to be a healthcare program. And if you're in Canada, you're going to be able to get weed from Health Canada. So we are excited about that. The only reason I talk about it is 5 years ago, if you'd have told me I was going to have a building in Arizona where I could go read and tell you that my first name is Montgomery, you'd have thought I'd lost my fucking mind. And yeah, I just said that. We'll see you guys on the next show. Everybody take care and have a dank day.